Blackstone Audio presents The Rock Hole, a Red River Mystery by Reavis Z. Wortham. This book is dedicated to the three women in my life, my daughters Chelsea and Megan, and the love of my life, Shayna. They keep me grounded and in the real world. Author note: Lamar County, Paris, Texas, and Hugo, Oklahoma exist, but they are used fictitiously in this novel. The same is true for certain businesses and other places that have passed with time. Center Springs exists also, but it is the original name of a small community called Chakota. Other geographical references are correct. The rock hole on Sanders Creek was still there the last time I visited, but that was 35 years ago. All the characters, with the exception of Cliff Vandenberg, are the product of the author's imagination. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or to actual events or locales, is entirely coincidental. All towns and communities have stories and are bonded together by the people who live there, who drop by and only stay for a spell, and who pass through on the way to some other place. All have an impact on those with whom they have contact. Those stories are collected in memory and are spun around kitchen tables, in front of the fireplace, on porches, in deer camps, or up at the store. Kids flow through these venues without notice, but they are sponges, and they absorb the stories as they are told. Eventually they grow up and tell stories of their own. With that said, step back with me in time to the good and bad of rural life at the end of an era. Welcome to 1964. December 22nd, 2010, Reavis Z. Wortham, Telluride, Colorado. Chapter 1. I came to live with my grandparents up on the Red River in the summer of 1964. Their hardscrabble farm sat exactly 1 mile from the Domino Hall in Center Springs, a one-horse settlement named after the clear water spring that feeds Sanders Creek, which then drains into the Red. When I climbed down the metal steps of that hot old bus outside the Greyhound station in the much larger town of Chisholm, Grandpa and my grandmother, Miss Becky, were waiting on the sidewalk. I was so proud to see them I could have busted, Grandpa especially. There he stood in his sweat-stained old straw hat and overalls, with a tiny badge pinned to his blue work shirt. I knew a revolver was in one of those big pockets, because he was the law in Lamar County, though you couldn't rightly tell if you didn't know. He hugged me against his big belly. Miss Becky was nearly dancing with excitement when he turned me loose to throw my suitcase into the truck bed among the baling wire, empty feed sacks, and loose hay. He'd parked right at the curb, and the bus's front bumper was right against the tailgate. When the bus driver stopped a few minutes before, I could tell he was aggravated because the truck was in his way, but he didn't say anything. "Why, Top, you've growed a foot since we last saw you." When Miss Becky hugged my neck, she smelled like the bath powder she kept in a round tin on her dresser. "Come on, Mama, we have to go." Grandpa opened the door for us. "Get in, hoss, and let's go look at a dead dog." He was always in a hurry to get out of town and back to the country. I crawled onto the dusty seat full of holes, and Miss Becky gathered her long skirts and climbed in behind me. "Ned," Miss Becky softly scolded him when he pulled away from the curb. "Ah, Mama, it ain't nothing but a dead dog. We're liable to see 2 or 3 in the same condition on the side of the highway before we get back to the house. It won't hurt him none." "Well, y'all can drop me off at the house first, then." "I intend to." 10-year-old boys are always up for an adventure, so 20 minutes later we let her out at the house, and 15 minutes after that I followed him through Mr. Isaac's chest-high corn. Grandpa led us between the rows with a hoe thrown over his shoulder and a tow sack dangling from the back pocket of his overalls. I wasn't sure how he knew where we were going until I looked down at his brogans and saw footprints leading through the rows in the sand. I cocked my Daisy air rifle he'd remembered to bring for me. The BB gun's barrel was hot to the touch from the blazing summer sun. "Glad we have a gun." He always enjoyed kidding me. "You never know if you're going to run across a booger bear out here." I rattled the air rifle to see how many BBs were left. "Is this your corn?" "Nope, it belongs to Isaac Reeder."